Hello everybody, it is Tom and welcome to another video. So, in today's video, we are going to do the very important work of discussing Charlie Spring's best moments in Season 2 of Heartstopper. So, as I said in the Best of Nick Nelson video, and any situations where I have to rank moments from this show, all Charlie's moments are best moments, but these are my top 5. Ones that I think are the absolute best of the season, where Charlie really shines as a character. Okay, so unlike in my Nick Nelson video, I have ranked these from 5 down to 1. So we're going to start with my number 5 pick and move to my number 1 favorite Charlie Spring scene. Okay. Alright, so in the number 5 spot, we have Charlie walking home from the park in episode 2. So the park scene, as I have mentioned many times before, is one of my favorite scenes in the episode, and in the season, really. And it really acts as like a peaceful oasis in what is otherwise a pretty stress-heavy episode for Nick and Charlie. I just love this beautiful moment of them just basking in each other's presence after not being able to see each other for a while. And then when Charlie's walking home, we have this combination of the music and the sky and the swirling, colorful graphics and Charlie's just beaming smile as he reads Nick's Instagram post. You know, neither Nick nor Charlie is ready to say the L word to each other just yet, but Nick feels comfortable doing it via Nelly, at least. So, yeah, we rarely get to see Charlie this joyful and just lit up with happiness, and I just love that so much for him. So, a really beautiful moment. Okay, in the number 4 spot, we have Charlie reassuring Tao in Paris in episode 5. So we've already talked about this scene a lot on this channel, but the maturity and kindness that Charlie shows in this scene just floors me every time. Like, Tao admits to him a pretty shocking thing, that he may have accidentally been the reason Charlie got outed and ended up suffering so much bullying.
Charlie, I'm basically the reason you got outed last year.
And it clearly affects Charlie really deeply and is something he's going to need to process more on his own. But at the same time, he is mature enough not to go the easy route of using Tao as kind of a scapegoat for his pain. Like, he keeps the blame where it belongs, on the people who bullied him, and shows Tao compassion and understanding.
I never wanted to tell you because I don't want you to hate me.
But you know that wasn't your fault, don't you? Like, that was clearly an accident.
And I don't know about you, but I've never seen a teen show handle a situation like this in this way. Like, in any other show, it would be tension and betrayal, and it would last a few episodes of them not talking to each other and just be drama. But here, Charlie accepts Tao's confession with immediate understanding and the knowledge that Tao would not purposely do something like this to hurt him. And he's able to give Tao what he needs in that moment, which it's just wonderful to see. I love Charlie in this scene.
Are you guilt-tripping me into being nice about myself?
Even if things don't work out with you and Elle, even if you make mistakes sometimes, you're a good person who deserves love.
In the number 3 spot, we have Charlie checking in on Nick while they're kissing in the hotel room bed in Paris in episode 6. So, This is an interesting scene. So Nick and Charlie finally have the hotel room all to themselves for the entire night. And they start off just sort of playfully fighting each other on the bed, but it very quickly turns into something a lot more romantic.
Payback.
So Charlie starts kissing Nick's neck, but just like Nick pauses initially to ask Charlie if he's okay with the neck kissing back in episode, is it 4? Back in episode 4, Charlie models this same consent-based behavior and asks Nick if it's okay.
Is this okay? Yeah.
And Nick says it's fine, but Charlie is paying attention. I mean, he always pays attention to Nick, but Charlie is paying close attention to Nick's face and his body language, and he knows that Nick is unsure.
That didn't sound very sure.
So he stops and he asks to make sure Nick feels okay.
Sorry, I do like it. It's just, I'm not sure I'm ready to do anything more than kissing.
And when Nick finally confesses that he doesn't want to do anything more than kissing, Charlie immediately reassures him, climbs off of him, and they talk about it.
No, I didn't think we did that right now.
Any instance of characters showing respect for the consent of their romantic partners is awesome. But Charlie here shows that beyond just asking for consent, he's actually paying attention to how Nick is feeling, not just what Nick says. And in the conversation they have next, Charlie even takes it a step further by saying that if Nick didn't ever want to take things beyond kissing, he would be okay with that.
I do want to.
Me too. Eventually.
Yeah.
I'd only want to do it if you did, and if you didn't ever want to do it, then I wouldn't either.
Which, for me, as someone on the ace spectrum, this was amazing. This was amazing to hear. I know a lot of people were mad at this scene for being unrealistic, but as I explained in my reaction to the episode itself, I really don't think it is. I think it makes perfect sense for these characters, given their age and experience and where they are in their journeys. And more than that, it's a concept I would love to see modeled more in teen media and media in general. This idea that you don't owe your partner sex, and that loving someone this deeply means not wanting them to do something they're not ready for or don't want to do, even if it's something you want to do. It doesn't have to be a deal breaker in a relationship if you don't want to have sex or if you're just not ready. So yes, I love Charlie in this scene, and I love that he backed off immediately when he sensed that Nick wasn't as into it as he was claiming, and that he then reassured Nick that, Charlie is happy to wait until both of them are really ready. So, yes. Moving in to the number 2 spot, we have me scratching my eyebrow. We have me scratching my other eyebrow. We have Charlie standing up to Ben at Elle's art show. This had to be in my top 2 because, this is such a pivotal moment for Charlie. We get a little hint of this at the end of season 1, where for the first time Charlie stands up to Ben after he beats his ass at the sports day race. But this finally is just such a big moment and such a good moment and healthy moment for Charlie. So basically, Ben shows up to corner Charlie into accepting his apology.
I just want to apologize. I'm a messed up person, Charlie. I liked you. You know that, don't you? If I just had more time. My parents would never accept who I really am. I'm sorry for everything.
And it's very clear from the apology and the words that Ben uses that he doesn't really understand why how he treated Charlie was wrong, or what lasting effects his behavior has had and will continue to have on Charlie. So Charlie tells him he doesn't yell, he doesn't lash out or hit Ben. He just clearly and succinctly and calmly tells him exactly how their relationship affected him and how Ben's abuse affected him.
Do you remember the first time you kissed me? You didn't even ask. You didn't pause to wonder whether it was what I wanted. And I went along with it because I had a crush and I didn't know any better. I didn't realise that you had all the control. When I eventually did realise, I thought, this must be what I deserve. Someone taking whatever he wants from me whenever he wants. Treating me like I'm nothing the rest of the time. And now whenever anything good happens in my life, there's a little voice in the back of my mind telling me I'm worthless and that I don't deserve it. And now you want me to forgive you so you can feel better about yourself. I'm glad you realised what you did was wrong, but you don't get to ambush me into forgiving you. Sorry doesn't make up for everything you did to me.
And he doesn't give Ben the absolution Ben was clearly hoping to get. So Charlie chooses not to forgive Ben. And that's an important moment, especially for someone like Charlie, who so often puts his own needs behind the needs of the people around him. Ben has caused Charlie so much harm and has constantly just exerted his control over Charlie's emotions, both before and after Charlie breaks up with him. And this moment is Charlie taking that power back. He hopes Ben becomes a better person, but he's also done letting Ben's toxicity affect his life.
I really hope you become a better person so you don't hurt anyone else. But I don't want to be there to see that happen. I don't want to see you ever again.
And with Ben transferring schools, hopefully Charlie really will finally be free of him. I do hope Ben will actually think about what Charlie said and will be able to become that better person that he claims to want to be, but hopefully he'll do that very, very far away from Charlie Spring. And now, finally, we move on to the #1 spot, my top Charlie Spring moment for Season 2. This is, of course, very subjective, and only my opinion, but my #1 favorite, top Charlie moment is Season 2, Episode 3, Promise, when he takes care of Nick at and after the bonfire party. So I've already mentioned that this is one of my favorite episodes, if not my favorite episode of Season 2. And a big reason for that is, first of all, because I love how much we dive into Nick's mental state, but also the way that Charlie steps up to support Nick while Nick is going through all this. So there's this wonderful balance in Nick and Charlie's relationship. But even so, I think it's easy to have the image that Nick is always the strong one, since he's physically bigger. But this is one of those episodes where Charlie's ability to be strong for Nick really shines through. Nick has literally made himself sick with the anxiety and the stress of trying to come out to the rugby lads. And he's in this really hellish, environment of just being surrounded by a mob of yelling, jumping, drunk people while a bonfire burns and the music is blasting and Harry is there.
Aww, share with the group. Someone spit it out.
It's fun, isn't it? Sneaking around with him.
Pick a side.
You promised you were gonna come out.
He's being tormented by these ghostly images of Tori and Imogen and David and even Charlie.
Nick doesn't want to talk to you, Harry. Piss off.
And then Charlie shows up out of nowhere and plants himself in front of Nick, between Nick and Harry, and tells Harry to piss off. So when Charlie sees how bad Nick is feeling, he immediately takes charge and announces he's taking him home.
I feel really ill.
I'm taking you home.
And then we get to see Charlie bringing Nick tea and holding him and reassuring him and being just an absolute rock when Nick needs that the most.
I promised. When we went to the beach, I told you I was going to come out. I've just been finding it so hard.
You didn't promise anything. I think there's this idea that when you're not straight, you have to tell all your friends and family immediately. Like you owe it to them. But you don't.
All along, Charlie has been amazing about letting Nick come out in his own time, even back in season 1. But here, we finally get the confirmation that Charlie does kind of wish everyone could know Nick is his boyfriend. But he also knows that Nick's coming out isn't about him, and it's important that Nick is able to do it in his own time. I'm sure it also doesn't hurt that Charlie has seen how much Nick has been torturing himself with this, and I think that's what finally spurs him to give Nick permission to forget about the coming out plan for a while.
Maybe we should forget the coming out plan for a while.
Really?
Yeah. Let's just stay low-key in Paris, and then it'll be the summer holidays. We can just be us.
That does sound nice.
It's clear Nick has been pushing so hard trying to come out, mainly for Charlie's sake. And Charlie giving him permission to not do that is exactly what he needs. It also allows him to finally relax and regroup and naturally reach the point where he's ready to come out, which of course happens just a few episodes later at Tara's party. Now, you may notice that 2 scenes were not on this list, namely Charlie talking to Nick at the Louvre about his eating disorder, and then Charlie opening up to Nick about the bullying at the end of episode 8. And while those are definitely amazing scenes and very important moments for Charlie, first of all, they're really more Nick and Charlie moments than just Charlie moments. And second of all, they're not scenes that bring me joy, even if they are very well done. So I did not add them to this list, even though I think they're amazing scenes. But of course, they can absolutely be on your list. They're just not on mine. Okay, well, what do you think? What did your favorite Charlie moments make the list? Please tell me in the comments. Give me your lists or your thoughts or whatever you want to say. Say it in the comments. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching and liking and commenting and all those lovely things. And a huge thanks to our patrons who are amazing and wonderful and fantastic and awesome. And a special shout out to our Nick Nelson members, Kelly Walker, Paul Z, Kent Smither, Kim Engel, and Lauren Javier. All right, that's going to do it for today. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whatever time of day it may happen to be. And I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye.